God has promised by Ellen G. White. God stands back of every promise he has made. Encouraging promises compiled from the writings of Ellen G. White. If you've sinned. The love of God still yearns over the one who has chosen to separate from him, and he sets in operation influences to bring him back to the Father's house. A golden chain, the mercy and compassion of divine love, is passed around every imperiled soul. We should bear in mind that we are all erring mortals, and that Christ exercises much pity for our weakness and loves us although we err. We shall often have to bow down and weep at the feet of Jesus because of our shortcomings and mistakes, but we are not to be discouraged. We are not cast off, not forsaken and rejected of God. By prayer, by the study of His Word, by faith in His abiding presence, the weakest of human beings may live in contact with the living Christ, and He will hold them by a hand that will never let go. So long as we do not consent to sin, there is no power, whether human or satanic, that can bring a stain upon the soul. The only defense against evil is the indwelling of Christ in the heart through faith in His righteousness. We may leave off many bad habits. For the time, we may part company with Satan, but without a vital connection with God, through the surrender of ourselves to Him moment by moment, we shall be overcome. Without a personal acquaintance with Christ and a continual communion, we are at the mercy of the enemy and shall do his bidding in the end. If one who daily communes with God errs from the path, if he turns a moment from looking steadfastly unto Jesus, it is not because he sins willfully, for when he sees his mistake, he turns again and fastens his eyes upon Jesus, and the fact that he has erred does not make him less dear to the heart of God. If, in our ignorance, we make missteps, Christ does not leave us. Christ is ready to set us free from sin, but He does not force the will. And if by persistent transgression, the will itself is wholly bent on evil, and we do not desire to be set free, if we will not accept His grace, what more can He do? We have destroyed ourselves by our determined rejection of His love. Many, walking along the path of life, dwell upon their mistakes and failures and disappointments, and their hearts are filled with grief and discouragement. It is not wise to gather together all the unpleasant recollections of a past life, its iniquities and disappointments, to talk over them and mourn over them until we are overwhelmed with discouragement. A discouraged soul is filled with darkness, shutting out the light of God from his own soul and casting a shadow upon the pathway of others.